Hey guys, Monk52 here of course, and today we're discussing the Ostergötland. So let's dive right into the modules here. First recommended module is Main Battery Mod 2 because the Torchverse is not very good, but all three of these modules could be used. You could spec the AA aiming systems or Main Battery Mod. I recommend Main Battery Mod because the Torchverse is pretty bad, 15.7 with the mod on, and for a comparison's sake, Friesland's very fast Torchverse 8.3. It's quite significant, and I recommend with this module, or even speccing into DD Torchverse potentially. So yeah, second module, Propulsion Mod, recommended. It's usually go to standard. Concealment definitely for this one. And you could go with torpedo launchers or torpedo build, or you can go focus on your main battery guns. Now I have a Friesland, so I just go for that. I respect this for torpedoes, but you could go either way, and both are good options. Or you could go completely into AA mod if you just despise carriers, which is fine. Recommended upgrades. I recommend getting your 90 knot torpedoes first. They are probably the saving grace of this boat. Very good. Hull is obviously a close second or even first, and then last and least in this case, range mod. Definitely those are your upgrades of choice. If we look at the boat, just a generalization of the boat, it's got pretty fast reload. Friesland-esque guns, 2.7 reload with our build, which has been heavily nerfed, but it's still pretty competitive. You've got a really quick reload on your torpedoes, 73 seconds here with our build. They don't have too much damage, but they are 90 knots and they're go 13.5 kilometers, and they've got pretty decent stats overall. Your AA is actually pretty good, especially with defensive AA fire, which is also nice. Most of your AA are the small 40mm Bofors, but your long range AA is your main battery guns, which are the 120mm Bofors. So you've got some reliable AA, and you can do some decent damage to enemy planes, which is nice. You're not very fast, but you do get a heal instead. You also get speed boosters, is also helpful, but you don't get no smoke screen, so you need to be careful about your engagements. You need to be wary about it. No special armor, unfortunately, so there's nothing really too much to discuss about that. Commander choice is the Stig because Top Gear. No, you could go full spec into the guns here, and if you're running a gun build, you can also just go Swirsky, and you can go with the Friesland build that we showcased earlier. Again, link in the video description and all that malarkey. But I went for subsurface venture. What do you call it? Look at me now. There we go. Perceptive is more helpful in the third row, I feel, because it just does more for you. But if you're going full torpedo build, less is more is obviously the better option. You've got 13.5 kilometer range. You can take down that range a bit, but you get some really good stats. 65-second reload is pretty good. And you're very fast torps. Sheltered arms, probably the best skill that we have in this whole lineup here. Really good. The more you upgrade the man, and he'll be very good. Unstoppable is obviously the staple for most DDs in this game as well. But if you're feeling balls, you can go and give me speed. Aeolatical, best inspiration for torpedoes, pretty much. Torpedo detectability is like 200 or 300% better than Space Fishy, so that is something to note. Again, if sonar's present, it's a different story, but you get a pretty decent, pretty respectable reload in your torpedoes. You can see the detectability is quite high, as we saw there, 1.8 to 1.6. 1.8 is a very high detectability value, but you do get 90 knot torpedoes, so that is something to note. Now, Eric Bay is a good option for your secondary inspiration. Pretty good for most CDs. If you don't have Aeolatical, we can take a look at other options for you. Probably your best inspiration is William Sims or Vincent Mordov. Again, I think about William Sims is probably your best, and Terwit is pretty good too for doubling down on your last row skill, or your sheltered arms skill, which are pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much covering the build. Let's get into the battle and see how it performs. So we're the only DD in this game, not a carrier game, so we don't get to showcase our AA, but we will at some point later on in future videos. This is more about the sheer power of this boat. It's a really fun boat to play, especially in this new game, in the way the game's being played right now, the meta as it says. I really hate that term, but still, whatever. Good range torpedoes, you can fire them and forget. They go 90 knots, so even if they are spotted, they will still be very difficult to dodge. Decent gun power, so you can defend yourself pretty comfortably. You've got the defensive AA fire, which will help you defend yourself against carriers. You give a carrier a good run for its money. They'll have to think twice about dropping you. If it still wants you, you'll die. I'm sorry, but you will give them a hard time, which is good. You've also got heals as well, which means you can pick a fight and disengage and heal up. If you're going for a fully packed build, you can even get more heals. Heals scales off your health, so having William Sims will be really good for this as well. You can choose to spec into torpedoes or gunpowder. Both are pretty good, and you're not really letting down either side by doing what you're doing. So you can contest caps, you can fight things out, and you need to be, you can really fire these torpedoes really quickly. As you can see in this whole conversation I've been having, there's already 15 seconds left in our cooldown for the torpedoes. So yeah, the good thing about this again boat is you've got good range, you can support other destroyers, you can hang back if you want, or you can push in. You've got both good options there. Obviously you don't have a smoke screen, so you need to be wary of picking your engagements, a bit like the French, but unlike the French, you don't have that speed boost to get out of jail free card. You just got to disengage the natural way by going dark or killing whatever is spotting you. So just be aware of that. You need to be, it will require a little bit of skill to play this boat correctly, but once you master this boat, by God, it's a very fun boat to play, and it's more of like that no-nonsense DD where you don't have to be worried about necessarily anything. No radar, fine, your positioning should be avoiding it anyway because you are very slow, you don't have a smoke screen anyway, you have no means of disengaging, but you have severely good, pretty powerful gunpowder, you've got really strong torpedoes in terms of actually hitting targets. You can get good chances of getting flooding on them, but obviously the damage is not very high, but you can get good chance of flooding. You catch people off guard at how fast the torpedoes are. They go 90 knots, that is very good. There's a radar from Ostergötland. We're just going to not worry about it. Again, it's Russian radar. We can disengage here. We'll try and duke the shot as best we can. We may not dodge everything, that's fine, but even if we do take some damage from this Ostergötland, we can actually just heal some of it back, because again, HE damage is quite a healable. We land the Torpedo man, he's got a flood, that's the damage control for him. Any HE spam coming his way, he might have a trouble with. We also torp the Georgia for good measure, which is also nice. Again, a wee bit of damage add up. They don't do much damage to these torpedoes, no, but when they do hit, it's all about having that chance to flood. Really, we could open up on this Iowa right now. I don't think it's the smartest play right now, so we're not going to do that. We just want to get this cap and not worry about things. And you can see we've already used our heal. We're basically back up to full health. We're a little bit short, but it's very. You can see the power of the heal, and just the torpedoes are really doing some work. They're very fast. They come out quickly, and you can use whatever you want to that fits your situation. You need to gun things down, not a problem. This thing is a good guns. You want to torpedo things, not a problem. You can do that. You want to dev strike something, that's a bit of a problem there, but you can definitely do some sizable work with your torpedoes over time. Because as I said earlier, it's not necessarily the damage the torpedo does that's important, it's the fact if it procs a flood or not. So you can get some good chip damage with the torpedo damage itself, plus the flooding damage, and you can really stack the torpedoes off. They've got a fast reload, you can stagger them if you want, or wherever floats your boat. You get a torpedo hit, that's the flood, okay, you want a very quick cooldown, you get another torpedo hit, that's another flood, and then that's a permanent flood ticking away. And if you want to even, you could open up your gunpowder and get fire pretty quickly because due to your high fire rate. And then you can just disengage and just watch the guy flood to death with your damage over time. This is really good for proccing multiple floods and getting really good damage in here. I think that's a permanent flood, or is that a damage control? So we're going to open up this highway here. I'm really confident he's not shooting at us right now. I think his guns are turned away, so we can get some good hits on him here. Hopefully set a fire real quick, and that'll kill him guaranteed off the map. Off the map. Get him right up there. It doesn't matter if we're shattering or whatever it is. Here we get our fire, which means we can disengage. We fire one more salvo for good luck, and then we're good. We're good, basically. We are good. That Iowa is guaranteed dead unless he comes in with welter build range, and even then, it might not save him in time. Ostergötland is pushing us, so let's torpedo him, but let's just say that Iowa didn't get set on fire. We could just send some more torpedoes the Iowa's way and deal with that. He did run away, we won't be able to torp him, to be fair, but he's on such low health it wouldn't matter. He burns to death with the fire, as expected, and Ostergötland is pushing us, so we're just going to run away and torpedo him and run. That's pretty much what we can do. Now, we've taken the B cap here, and the enemy have taken the Charlie cap in response, so it's an even point gain from either side, so it's down to kills. He's got another flood into him. He hit two torpedoes. They're very fast torpedoes. It's very difficult to dodge them. Even if you do see them, that's the advantage of having really high speed torps. The difference is when you have low detectability, you don't see them coming, you don't have time to react. So if you can do a mix of both, it's really good. But having fast torps means even if they are spotted, it's just straight up difficult to dodge them because they're so quick. Ostergötland is on a silver of health. He's living on the edge. It looks like our teammate does take him out in his Vladivostok. So we'll push forward here and try and get better torping angles, better positions on our team, and try and leave this cap, because we've kind of been stuck here for most of the time. But then again, You can see the damage he built up with just our torpedoes at 64k damage. It's already added up quite significantly. Georgia looks like he's going to accelerate, so we're going to fire a little bit there. It will take him some time to re-accelerate. I don't know if he's got prop mod on. This might be a miss here, but hey, it's not really much of a concern because we have very fast torpedo reload, so we'll do that. We get spotted here by the Kagero. Kagero's obviously going to spot the torpedoes, so they aren't going to hit. That being said, they go 90 knots, so even so, they still might hit here. Kagero has picked a wrong fight. He's just going to lose this fight pretty comfortably, and yeah, you can see it's just not even a fair fight there. If this was a Friesland or a Fletcher or an Akazuki, probably lose the fight, but I think we just landed a double strike. The Georgia didn't see the torpedoes coming in time. But yeah, no. If there was a high-end gunboat, like a really powerful gunboat, it'll be a struggle. With my build, probably lose it, but at the same time, it comes down to player skill to win most gunfights, and not everyone is equal player skill. So, you still might win it, and plus the torpedoes are also a good game changer. 90-knot torpedoes, dodging those while taking a lot of gunfire is not an easy fighting to do. So yeah, we've taken out the Kagero, we got the Georgia for the double strike, and now we're going to push into the Alpha Cap and see what we can do. We've landed 10 torpedoes here, which for other destroyers would be a lot of damage, but only us, we only get 91. But you can see the effectiveness of our torpedoes. We've done some sizable damage, even though they were spotted by the Kagero. I don't think the Georgia was paying attention, to be fair, but even if he was, it would be a bit tough for him to dodge them anyway. Now, John Bart's pulling in. He knows we're last spotted here, so I don't know if he's interested in us in our last position. We're moving away, though. Moving off to Alpha, but before we do that, we might get a juicy hit on this John Bar. Again, having the long-range torps gives you a lot more torpedo targets to shoot at, to torpedo, and you've got a lot more options here. Now, I could play it a bit risky here. I don't want to fire and get myself spotted. So we're going to wait until we go past that island, then we're probably going to take a wee cheeky shot at him as well. You never know, we might set a fire that he might single damage control, you never know. So we're going to do the fire here and then go off to the A cap, because that's really what's important. We actually get a couple salvos into the guy, which is very good. We don't have to worry about him anyway, so yep, there we go. 6 sets, no fire, oh well, that's fine. Still a little bit of damage, every little bit helps. Jean Bar, I'm looking at the minimap here, looks like he's going to get a couple of those. That is 8 of those, and that's a dev strike. That's pretty good. Again, he must have been a little bit low health, because even though it has a lot of torpedoes, it still is, they don't hit very hard. But when you hit all of them, it does add up, so that's pretty darn good there. He didn't see those coming. They reacted. The reaction time is very high, very low in these torpedoes because you've got such high speed. And with our Latigo inspiration, we're making that reaction time even better for us. Now, Maki's even out of range. It looks like those 3 last remaining ships are pretty far away. So we're just going to go cap this point. Your main objective as a destroyer is to cap objectives, destroy other DDs if you can, and yeah, just get the point. It's all about the points. All about the points. Play the objective, basically. So, plus capping solo caps are worth more XP than any single action in this game. So let's be aware of that. It's worth more than Death Strike. It's worth even more than a Kraken and so forth. So you really want to get yourself capping these objectives when they're possible. We've got 2 solo caps under our belt here. So we were pretty spicy XP game, along with the medals that we have here. We've landed quite a sizable amount of torpedo hits. We can get some more. Just imagine this game on went a little bit longer, and there's a lot more kills in the option. If there are a lot more kills on the table. Looks like those aren't going to miss here, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to accelerate forward. Again, we're not the fastest DD in the world, but it doesn't really matter. As long as we're defending the key objectives and doing what we need to do to win the game, and that's all really we need to do. Now, I'm going to speed up this because literally we're just getting to the targets and we're not really doing anything here. So yeah, nothing really to know about. Wichita is in radar range shortly, but it doesn't really matter because even if he does spot us, I don't think he can kill us from this range. And we're just going to fire some torpedoes his way. And again, the speed of these torpedoes really catches people off guard. They don't realize it. Once they see it and like, oh shit, it's too difficult to dodge. And this is a Wichita, by the way, one of the most agile cruisers in the game. So hopefully we can do some sizable damage to them. He's already fired his guns. I could probably open up on a Maggie here, but I'm playing it safe, probably too safe, but hey, whatever. My biggest concern is getting rid of the Wichita. Torps look quite good. It's not a full, it doesn't look like he's going to eat everything, but looks like he's definitely going to eat at least one. That's one, two, that's two, that's a flood. Again, you get quite a lot of floods of these torpedoes. I seem to notice that, which is really quite effective. Again, that's a 160k. We really should open up on them, I think. We probably should have opened up on a Maggie. Probably a bit of a misplay here, but at the same time, we could get really ruined by this Maggie. We're all out of heals as well. We need to just open up. We only get 900 points, and we only get 4 kills. So you kind of do want to get this cracking, but we're not going to kill this Maggie realistically in this time. It's just not going to happen. And yeah, we're going to see what we can do here. I would probably open up. I think we're playing it a little bit too careful. They know we're here already, so we're just going to fire some torps, not worry about it, and we're just going to try and open up on the Wichita to get the final kill here, hopefully. Looks like he's getting low. Oh, he's getting very low. Hopefully our guns can finish this off. Can our guns finish this off before the game ends? Because that's going to end the game right there. The Wichita is killed by our division mates, of course. But no worries. Anyway, so... yeah, pretty interesting game. I thought it would be interesting to showcase the power of this boat. 20 torpedo hits, 12 floods, 2 solo caps, 3.7 base. Guys, hope you enjoyed this, and as always, you know, subscribe for more. If you like what you see, let me know. And yeah, have a lovely day, guys, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye for now.